Happy Sunday to all my fellow gig economy workers, hustlers, whatever apps you work out there. Happy Sunday. If you're out, I hope you're making money. I hope you're being safe. I hope you're not working. I hope you got your feet up on the couch. I hope you're pulled over in a parking lot ready to listen to the live. I hope you are doing something and you're relaxed. But if you are making money, I hope you're making good decisions, and being safe. Now, listen. Tonight's live, I have a special topic that really started in the middle of this week with the order that I took, a situation that I saw, something that made me think. I saw a few news articles. I was on a panel on, I think it was Friday, talking about this very subject with some people that I do respect their opinions on. We had a good conversation, a back and forth on what it really means when people use food stamps to order things on DoorDash or Instacart or Uber or whatever. This kind of work used to be more luxury. We can debate that, whether it is luxury still, whether it isn't. At this point, we can debate whether or not it was ever that. At this point, it's not. Everybody orders on these apps. It is not luxury. It's not special anymore. It has turned into something completely different. We're going to talk about the gig apps' roles in that, and why they are allowing and welcoming these things. We're going to talk about the consumer's role in it and how that affects us gig economy workers today in 2024. Food stamps, SNAP, EBT, it might be called different things based on the state or the city that you live in. Government assistance and DoorDash. Do those things match? Should we even care about it? I'll share with you something that happened this week. I'll give you my opinion. I will be opening up the Streamyard link to people that want to talk about this subject and give your opinion on it, and we can talk some other DoorDash things as well. Happy you guys are here today. I'm in a really good. This week's been interesting. It's been an odd week for different reasons, but I am in a very good state of mind. It's been a great weekend. I'm feeling good going into next week. A lot of positive things happening. So my peace is with me. But I do want to talk about something that I think will have different opinions based on how you feel about whatever. Okay? So hit that thumbs up for everybody coming in here. I will be having to check the score of the Timberwolves Denver game. If you know, you know. Shout out, RIP, to all my New York Knicks fans. I think I saw Hector in here. Shout out to my man Hannibal and any New York Knicks fans. Today is a somber day for you guys. That was rough. I'll just say that. But you're not here for the NBA talk. Okay, let me go ahead and click into, before I say hi to you guys real quick, let me go ahead and bring up the topics, and I will be saying hello in a minute. Hit that thumbs up, people. Did you guys like the intro? That was the intro I made actually like 2 years ago. I was like, let me put that in for the trailer. All right, so tonight's topics, tonight's live stream, DoorDash Drivers Live. DoorDash is no longer a luxury service. That is a statement. There's no question mark behind it. Okay? Race to the bottom. That's what we got going on tonight. Okay. Now, topics. Should customers be able to use food stamps for a DoorDash order? Question mark. Has food delivery become too commonplace? Question mark. It's too common. It's just everybody's using it and abusing it and convenience, and there's so many dashers now. Like, is it become too common? Is it the most popular, the most common it's ever been? That's a question for tonight. And then finally, food delivery will keep dashers and customers broke? Question mark. I'll be answering those things as we get tonight in tonight's live. Let me see what we got in the building. Let me go all the way up to the top. We're starting from the beginning. John, Ricardo, PPP, Jimmy Hayes, Aim Warhawk 1992, Cheeky Chops, Big Car, Hulk Smash, Heather, I see Hector in here. Tammy, how you doing? Sigma, what's up, brother? Juan, I see Dino saying it like it is. How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well out there in Arizona. Jeff, always a pleasure. I see Dashing Across America. Craig Nay, almost your birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Craig Nay. I believe her birthday is on Tuesday. Say happy birthday to her. Brian in Orlando. Let's see. Adventures with Broke Mom. Qualaya, always a pleasure. Mad Dog. Luis, John, Levi, what's up? Thomas, LT, J-Dope, Robert. All right, we got everybody's names in the Black Widow. What up? Happy birthday. Yes, Tuesday. Yes, I'll be there for a little bit, Craig. I'm going to bring some energy on Tuesday. Really looking forward. I'm going to pop in and spend some time with y'all. Cray Cray's a big supporter of many channels, and just a lovely human being. I've met her in person. So shout out to Cray Cray. She's definitely somebody that is a staple in this community of definitely supporting people. And she's a W-2 worker, and she's a gig worker, a true hustler. Happy birthday, Cray Cray. I got something special for you on Tuesday. All right, so let me take a sip of my tea before we get into it. Hector, I'm gonna pop on your live panel tomorrow if you're live. We got to talk about that. I got some opinions. Okay, let me give you a quick rundown, and then I will have the Streamyard link open. I don't know how long we'll be live tonight, but I think it was Wednesday. I did a Walgreens order. I think it was $6.75. It was 6 items going, I think maybe 2 or 3 miles. I took it. I was like, I don't mind these orders. I go to Walgreens. I'm picking up items: ice cream, vanilla wafers, Gushers, gummy bears, and some kind of chocolate bar. And I think like a soda. They didn't have the ice cream. So in the app, unless they submitted a substitution, there's like a whole thing where you got to hit like either issue refund, or if you say items out of stock and there's no substitution, it automatically sends them a automated AI like response to the customer saying, this item's out of stock. Would you like me to replace it? Anyways, her response is, I don't know. You can replace it. It's Snap. As long as it's Snap approved. Snap is the government assistance that this customer is using to order on the Walgreens app with DoorDash. No judgment. I stood in line for government cheese with my mom when I was in kindergarten. I remember vividly getting those blocks of cheese. Ain't no cheese like the government cheese, right? So no judgment. Long story short, they didn't have the ice cream. I wasn't able to substitute it. A couple of items they didn't have. I dropped it off. She did leave a tip. So if you saw yesterday's video, I'm not going to be too long-winded, but when somebody uses Snap or an EBT or whatever, government assistant, you can actually just add that into your DoorDash account along with your debit card or credit card info. And then if you have a Snap balance, you can pertain that, if it's eligible, to your DoorDash order on Walgreens and Aldi and all kinds of stores. And now it's even going to fast food, but we'll get to that at some point maybe. So because she did tip, so she was not a miserable clown. She's a good person. She did tip us. Now, this is my question to you guys. I'm not going to be here being super opinionated and just yelling and screaming and ranting and raving. I'm in a good mood today. I don't want to do that. I did that last week. But I'm posing it to you guys, and I'll read some chats and put the Streamyard link open. Should DoorDash allow, let me rephrase that. Should Snap and EBT be in business with DoorDash and Instacart? And we know the reasons why. The companies want to have as many consumers ordering. They want as much percentage or much profits as possible. They want as many consumers being able to order and get things delivered. Nothing wrong with that. It's a business. But how is it possible for somebody on government assistance to order Gushers, cookies, ice cream soda, vanilla wafers, and gummy bears? What are those items? They can't get hot food, which they should be able to. Which they should be able to get a hot chicken, some rice. They should be able to get nutritional food. Nothing that this woman ordered had any nutritional value. And when you go to Snap's website, it talks about providing nutritional food for people in need. It literally verbatim says that on the website. So let me be an old man for a second, because I just don't understand. Because what happens is we're trying to help one person out, but most people that have those cards and use those and want the service probably aren't going to tip. I think this was an anomaly. So if she didn't tip the order, she tipped $3. The order would have been $3.75. How is it possible that order goes through for junk food on a Snap EBT food stamp card? Pure greed from DoorDash and Instacart and all the other apps? This is no longer a luxury service. That's my statement. I believe the companies have done a really good job of growing their business, growing their brand. Whether they're profitable or not, that's for a whole nother live, whole nother discussion, whole nother debate. But my question is, when we've watered down DoorDash to the point where you don't have to have any money. This is a question for y'all. You don't have to have any money and you can have food delivered. That's not a luxury, right? Think about that. When I was broke, as a joke, I wasn't ordering DoorDash. So how is it allowed now? Are we entitling consumers too much? Are we doing too much? DoorDash wants all the money. They want all the money. Pure greed. But as a consumer, how can you order cookies, soda, and ice cream with an EBT card? I want me an EBT card. Damn, give me one of them EBTs. Like, how is that allowed on DoorDash? I always thought you go to the store and you would get your stuff, and that's good. People are struggling. Like, by no means am I throwing shade at anybody that has that. Okay, I got family members. I know people that are on that. Trust me, there's nothing wrong with that. But I will draw the line, in my opinion, but you guys might be able to change it. I don't think those things should be allowed for food delivery. And this is why. I think the companies do a really good job, but in return it becomes bad, of pinning us unfortunate people and putting us together. If you're on EBT, SNAP, you've been out in a while, yeah, you're down and out, you need some help, boom. If you're doing DoorDash, not all you, some of you, most DoorDash drivers, you're down on times, you lost your job, you're struggling, you go to food delivery because the barrier of entry is very easy. Anybody can do DoorDash. So the companies are saying, let's just put this vulnerable human being with this vulnerable human being. Let's pair them together. They can't tip on SNAP. Most people that are going to use food government assistance probably aren't going to tip. Most, not all. So let's just go ahead and marry these two people together so we can deliver cookies, soda, and ice cream. Those things are not essential food items. A chicken and some rice and some beans and things like that, those are essential. Cookies, ice cream, and candy are not essential. I stand on that hill, even if I'm by myself. So how are we gonna? You want me to put my poor broke ass with another poor broke ass person, and let's just marry these people together and let's pay them $375 to drive his own car and deliver somebody something that they don't need. That's my hot take, but I want to hear from you guys. Also, Wingstop and various other fast food places now have signs on the front. If you saw the thumbnail, it's there. EBT, we now welcome EBT to get hot food. I am more okay with that than I am delivering somebody some Gushers and ice cream. But we could talk about that as well. I think if you have some kind of government assistance, you should be able to eat food. Gushers, ice cream, cookies is not nutritional food. There's no nutritional value in that. Anyways, that's my topic tonight. Where do you guys stand with it? Is it good? Is it bad? You guys can vote. Most of you guys say it's bad. I think it's more complicated because at the end of the day, I appreciate the 5. RIP to FGA the AR. Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. But shout out to Dash and Trader. Shout out to Gig Guy. How do you guys feel about it? And is it at the end of the day, like everything's about dollars and cents, right? So if I'm delivering something for somebody and they tip me and it's whatever, if it makes sense, it's fine. But the more we have with the SNAP and the EBTs, what percentage of those orders do you think are the likelihood of them having a tip? Because the only way we make money if there's a tip. So should we be facilitating these deliveries? So DoorDash be in the pockets of the government in the pockets of DoorDash, and really the consumer is being served trash food when they should be buying something better. That's my opinion. Be mad at me if you want. And a DoorDash driver or an Instacart shopper is dealing with somebody that's probably not going to tip them, and we're wasting our time and energy to deliver somebody something non-essential. All day long, I'll deliver you some Pampers. I'll deliver you some Advil. I delivered a kid some kind of Motrin or Tylenol or something from Dollar General, and it was $8.75 all base pay. And I wasn't mad because that kid needed it, and I happily met my criteria. Didn't know if there was a tip or not, no problem. But Petty Pedro can come out sometimes. If you want me to deliver medicine, you don't want to tip me because you ain't got the funds, I at least did something for you, and that kid's going to be better. You want me to deliver you Gushers and ice cream. That's when I hit pause and say, what the fuck, DoorDash? What the fuck, government? SNAP, what's going on? Why is that allowed? That's the topic. Let me see who's here today and say hi. Okay. Marcus, there it is. You don't give a damn about the food. You care about What's up, Marcus? Okay, Marcus, I forgot. Yeah, I referenced you guys actually in yesterday's video and everything else. No, I do care about the tip because I just mentioned I don't care if there's not a tip, but it's something that I know is going to help somebody. There isn't any situation when Gushers is helping somebody. And before I get in the chat, there's some funny comments in yesterday's video. The reason I wanted to bring this topic tonight and open it up because I can be taught, I can listen, and my mind can be changed. But there were some really interesting and slightly ignorant comments in my comment section yesterday. And let me preface this from a standpoint of what's education and knowledge, firsthand knowledge. I have, for those of you that don't know, I have type 1 diabetes, a chronic illness. 10% of human beings that have diabetes, which is hundreds of millions of people in this world, okay? Only 10% have type 1. It's also called juvenile diabetes. Most people get it when they're young. I got it when I was a little bit older. Your pancreas, you have one, I have one. Mine doesn't produce insulin. Your pancreas does. When you eat something, your pancreas combats the sugar. You're a normal human being. Your blood sugars can stay well, and you're good. My pancreas doesn't produce insulin, so I have to inject myself with insulin so that when I eat, I literally don't end up in the hospital. Case point, if I didn't take my insulin for like a day or two, really just one day, if I didn't take it all day today, I'd be violently ill right now, and I would not be able to sit here and I'd be in the hospital. If I didn't take my insulin for 2 days, I'd be in the hospital, maybe comatose. If I didn't take insulin for 3 days, I would die. So when people in the comment section say, "Pedro, people can order sugar, they can order candies because maybe they need sugar," that is the most ignorant comment, and I get a lot of ignorant comments. That shows me your level of intelligence and the level of what you understand diabetes to be. Because if you need sugar that bad, you should have always something in your home that has sugar if you have diabetes. Everybody with diabetes knows this. So if you're ordering Walgreens and you're ordering items like ice cream, vanilla wafers, cookies, those aren't the things you eat in a pinch. You should have a little bit of OJ, maybe a cookie, but you're going to wait 30 minutes and trust a DoorDash driver to bring you something for your well-being when it's life or death and you need a pump. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So when I saw those comments, I'm like, damn, some people are crazy, right? It's crazy to think that that's where we're going here. But okay, let me read some comments before I put the Streamyard link up. Oh, I got to check the score of the game real fast. Hold on. So it's just, okay, hold up. I'll pause. Ooh, Minnesota. Okay. Anyways, let me read some comments real quick. Gig out. Appreciate the 5. Cray says, "Listen, I don't care if it's CBT or not. I'm well within my right to decline the order if the money doesn't make sense." Absolutely. And my whole point in this is I think most of them won't make sense. And I think, let's just be honest. I think when we're dealing with orders and we drop it off and we realize there's no tip, even if the valuation was worth your time because you accepted it, some of us still feel some type of way. And then when it's junk food, it's like, really? But yeah, if there's a tip attached, most of us are going to be like, whatever, makes money, it makes sense, I'm taking it, right? I totally get that. Gig out says, "So from what I've seen is that they can order using food stamps, but they cannot use it to pay service fees." Yes, there has to be another card attached from what I understand, and then they will tip or not tip. That is true. It's food regardless whether you think it's okay or not. Absolutely, Roy. Definitely food. Let me put some comments up too. I'll put that comment up. Definitely food. Definitely food. But let me push back a little bit on that. Okay? It's definitely food. But Roy, let me ask you a question. I'll leave it up to the chat. Anybody's up, welcome to come up. I'm gonna put the link up in just the next couple of minutes. Should consumers that have SNAP and EBT be able to order junk food? I'm not saying they shouldn't, but should they be able to order junk food and have it delivered to their home? Should there be some kind of line there? Are we giving people too much? Are we making people too lazy? Too much convenience? I mean, everybody can have everything delivered to their front door, and you don't even really need to pay a whole lot for it. What do you say to that? Okay. Yeah, I would disagree with that, Roy. Just because the FDA says it's food, I think, and SNAP even says, if somebody wants to fact check this, when you go to the website, SNAP talks about nutritional food, helping families. Gushers and ice cream is not helping anybody. Gushers and ice cream is not nutritional food. So it defeats the purpose of the whole purpose of SNAP and WIC in EBT. Okay? All right. Jody says, it's nobody's business what people spend their money on as long as they tip. Okay, Jody, that's interesting. So I think some people would agree with that, right? But does the tip really matter? Does it matter? For some it will, for some it won't. Good question. Okay, let's see what else we got here. There's no way to determine if the order was EBT. There was, because she told me it was SNAP. And because I couldn't substitute. Plus, on Instacart, it will tell you that as well. If you've ever done Instacart and you try to do substitutions, you can't do it sometimes, and it tells you that it's basically that. So I've done that as well. Good question. So listen, and my mind can be changed tonight. If somebody wants to come up and say, well, Pedro, you're looking at this wrong. My ears are open. My ears are open. My only thing is, why are we in this country enabling so many people and making it easy to get junk food delivered at a low price? It's not luxury anymore. It's not luxury, right? I mean, it's odd to me. It's very odd. All right, let's see. Maybe Marcus can come up, Roy can come up. I would love for you guys to come up. I think you guys each have varying opinions. Cray Nate, join the show if you're not at work. Robert, Cynthia, whoever. I'm gonna put the link up here real quick. Jose, appreciate that with the super stickers, bro. I appreciate that. Gig says, my mom used to always let us get candy and junk food with the EBT because we are human and it is a treat for us. I don't see a problem with it. There are a lot of genuine people on government. I 100% agree. 100% agree. Nothing wrong with it. Everybody gets a treat. But my point is, should DoorDash drivers be spending their time delivering treats on EBT? Doesn't matter. If there's a tip involved, most of it doesn't matter. But if there's not a tip, do you feel some type of way? Let's just be honest. If there's not a tip, do you feel some type of way about that? It shouldn't matter. We just pick up, drop off, deliver whatever, right? But to some, I think it might. The polls suggest it might. But I want to hear from the ones that are like, you know what, Pedro? No, you're completely wrong. It shouldn't matter. Anybody can order anything regardless of whatever program they're on, regardless of how much money they have or don't have. They should be able to order it and expect it and get it through DoorDash. DoorDash used to be luxury. Food delivery was never on EBT and all that before. Never. This is more recent. Why do you think the companies opened it up? Greed? Or do they want to service a larger community? Could be both. Could be both. Could be one or the other. I want to hear from y'all. I'm going to put the Streamyard link up. Let me check. I gotta check the score out first because I'm like, I almost didn't do this live because I want to watch the game, but wow, Minnesota is going to pull off the Timberwolves. Sports fans, the biggest comeback in Game 7 NBA history. They were down 15 at the half. They were down 20 points 3 minutes into the third quarter. They're up 10 with 2 minutes to go in Denver. Man, I really wish I was watching this game. It's probably a good one. All right. Anyways, I'm happy that I'm here with y'all. All right. Let me go ahead and pin this for you guys real quick. I think some of you guys want to come up and give me some perspective. And I've been on government assistance as a kid. Trust me. I've been there. Actually, when my first daughter was born, her mom, we weren't married. Her mom was on, I believe it was WIC, for about the first year. You get like milk and the certain things. I think even, I don't know if it's formula or not, but like milk and rice, and you get certain things that are nutritional. But for me, it's not that. I'm talking about the junk food. That's where it's like, it's just interesting to me. It's interesting. And we're not talking just a few things along with your other stuff. This whole order was junk food. So maybe this is not common, which that could be the case. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and put this link up with you guys. This is more, I'm not saying I am right or wrong. I want to spark a conversation because it's interesting. And I was part of one on Friday. And there was varying opinions and some good opinions. Okay, so let me go ahead and hold up. Damn, where's mine? Okay, there it is. All right. So there it is. Let me pin this for you guys. If anybody wants to come up, if anybody's feeling froggy, if anybody has an opinion on it, please join the show. So pin the message. It's up at the top of the chat. Please go ahead and come on in and give me your opinions on this and maybe even share perspective of things that you've dealt with personally, if you want to share why you're doing gig economy. Maybe you've delivered to somebody that did all that and they were, you felt good about it. Listen, y'all know me, my man, that I made a video like last week. There's this guy, he's handicapped, he's got a wheelchair. I spent 30 minutes with him. I'll deliver that guy for free. Like when I see him again, if I'm in that area, and I'm sure I'll see him again. I've seen him 3 times now. And I think I delivered to him like a year ago. So I think I've done 4 deliveries to him. He's a great human being. He lives in a building that's government assisted, right? I'll deliver that guy for free because I know him a little bit. We bonded. I want to help that guy out, right? I don't know the woman that I delivered to before. But should there be other systems and programs in place through the DoorDash app? DoorDash is linked in with certain charities and churches. Should they do more of that to deliver the SNAP EBT kind of stuff? Should they actually be delivering like actual food that people could actually like get a meal out of? Or should they just continue to have us do that kind of work? I don't know. What do y'all think? That's some of the questions I have for you guys tonight. Everyone that doesn't have EBT wish they had a low key. That's funny. That's real funny. Okay, I see Real Talk. I see Dino. Good. I'm glad these guys are here. Anybody else want to join up? I'm gonna give you another 30 seconds and come up on the show. I would love a woman's perspective on this as well if somebody has the time. Let me go ahead and get back into here. And all right, let's see. All right, let's get this set up. All right, let me bring up Roy.
What's up, y'all?
Brother? And let me bring up Dino, Mr. Saying It Like It Is. Gentlemen,
hey, what's up?
Perspective. What's up, Dino? How you doing? I will start with Roy first. Roy, go ahead.
It's food. It's food. It doesn't matter who are we to dictate. Who are DoorDashers to dictate what people buy with their money? Technically, it's our money, but at that point, the government is assisting them. It's their money. And that's the thing. It's assistance. And if somebody feels the need that they want some snacks, whether it be cookies for their kids, ice cream for themselves, it's their choice. It's their money. When they run out of it, it is on them. And it's like, okay, who are we as DoorDashers to dictate that? What's next? We're going to tell fat people they can only order salads when they order DoorDash. Where's the line? What line do you draw? You can't. It's their choice. It's their choice. And we as taxpayers, we accept the responsibility that our taxpayers go to these people because we want to assist them. And like I said, who are we to dictate, what they choose to eat or what they choose to do? Like you said, it's like, where do you draw the line? Next, it's, you can't smoke. We shouldn't be delivering alcohol. Alcohol is a major killer. You deliver a bottle of alcohol, he gets in his car and drives and kills somebody. So what's next? We're going to tell people they can't drink. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, it's their food. It's their money. If they want to have some snacks for the kids or treat themselves, it's no different than us going out to Dairy Queen when we want a Blizzard. We go out and buy it. It's no different, So in my opinion.
I see that. I think it's a little bit different maybe it's not. Like you said, it's there. If they're on assistance, they've got a certain budget per month. It might be a couple $100, whatever. That's their business. That's a private matter, right? But
to be honest with you, when you see like Wingstops, the first one to ever take EBT was Jack in the Box. And the reason they did this, because I was homeless. Remember, I was on food stamps for a while I was homeless. So the reason why they started letting like Jack in the Box and other places serve food to people with EBT is because homeless people don't have fridges. They have nowhere to put food, and they still want homeless people to eat. So they give them the option that certain restaurants will give the EBT because the homeless people got to eat. It ain't like they got a fridge laying around that they can go buy gallons of milk, cheese, bread, whatever it is. So that was one of the major reasons why you saw Jack in the Box probably was the first one to take EBT, because that's what they did it for. Because a lot of homeless people, they had the money, but they couldn't buy nothing to eat because they had nowhere to put the food.
Yeah.
So
and I never understood, maybe somebody in the chat, maybe you guys, and I got a few people I'm going to bring up. I never understood why you couldn't get hot food. Why not? To me, it's almost like when you have EBT or SNAP, you can get like banquet meals and all the bad stuff, but you can't get a hot chicken. You know what I mean? Like you can't get a Costco. Like that to me, that's kind of silly. You should be able to use your money and get what you want. But I would imagine more people would want good stuff versus junk, but it is what it is. But that's an interesting. I never understood why you couldn't get hot food. I don't know. Dino, give me some perspective. What do you think about this?
Now, as far as the items, what kind of items they need to order, I mean, I don't see a big deal about that. The big deal I want to see is that the tips that they're not going to these EBTs because it's out of their hands, because they don't allow tipping when it's EBT. Because it's the government paid, the government pays the food, so the government cannot put a tip in there. Also, they're only helping the person, they're not helping the driver at the same time. Get it? The government is only helping with the food. They paid for that. It gets to the customer, right? Now, this customer cannot also enforce the government to pay the tip for their food also. It doesn't work that way. So when we see an offer that it's like 100 items and we only get a base pay of $25, that would have been a $50 payout if it was a regular customer. That's the problem right there.
That's no guarantee.
We're not blaming the customer. We're not blaming the customer.
I guarantee.
We're not blaming the customer because the government cannot put the tip in there because we're not asking for assistance. It's not us. So they can't put the tip. You see, there's a fine line when it comes to these type of orders.
Are we going to get a little heated here? Because that's fucking irrelevant, bro. It doesn't matter. We have people that live in mansions that don't fucking tip. So what difference does that make?
There's no guarantee.
It means nothing. It means nothing. Just because it's $100 for $25, it's your choice to take it or not. This is your job. Remember, you chose.
Yeah, we understand that, right? But if you don't get too many offers.
So you can't sit there and say, "Oh, it would have been a $50 if it was a regular person." Fuck, we've delivered to rich people that are broke as fuck and they don't tip $1. So
yeah, I tend to think, at least in St. Louis, you guys tell me your opinion in the chat. Let us know. I like delivering to the lower to middle class. They tip better than rich people, in my experience. But that's just me in St. Louis. Like, I'll go anywhere if the money's right. And I tend to believe
you're correct. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, people that are lower income or maybe even they're on their last dollar, they probably waited tables at some point, worked in restaurants, do DoorDash. So they understand the plight of us, right? So they tend to sometimes tip better. The rich people that look down on us sometimes, and they, rich people tip, poor people tip. It is what it is. But let me welcome Gig Gal and.
Well, I didn't finish my point. I had 2 points on it.
All right.
Go ahead. Dino.
My second point is Pedro was asking why you think DoorDash and these companies are doing it, because right now we're in hard economic times and they're looking to cash in as much as they can. That's plain and simple right there.
Yep, that's a good point. Yep.
And there's no going around it. So there you go.
Yeah.
And there you go. That's the final point on that.
Yeah. DoorDash definitely wants to service as many customers. I don't blame them for that.
No, Spark is doing the same thing. Spark is cashing in on EBTs like it's like hotcakes right now. Yeah. Last year we didn't see any of those. Now all of a sudden for the votes, they'll do anything right now. This market right here, we didn't have anybody on the EBT. Now it's loaded. It's loaded. They brought people from California, from other areas, and they brought them down here. And now from 38,000 people right now, we're up to 88,000 within a couple of years.
Well, what's funny, obviously inflation, I'm going to kick it to Gig Al in just a moment, right? Inflation obviously is crazy. The cost of milks and eggs and butter and everything, cereal. Mm-hmm. I mean, I went to Aldi the other day and Aldi's pretty reasonable. Even those prices are going up 20, 30 cents per item on certain items. So I understand most Americans are struggling. Inflation's crazy. Should the government give all of us? I mean, listen, maybe they should give all of us something. It's hard out here for most people, especially if you're a DoorDash driver. I think most of us, we tend to struggle or we struggled at some point, right? And inflation is just so crazy. So I think we're seeing a rise of EBT and assistance because of inflation and people losing jobs or companies not paying enough. And, your rent's more now than ever before, but you didn't get a pay raise. So, you used to pay $800 in rent, let's say 3 years ago. Now you're paying $1,500 and you're making about the same. So Americans are struggling, right? So I get that part as far as people needing some kind of assistance. I mean, I think more people probably deserve it that don't get it, I'd even say, Gig Al, give me some perspective on tonight's topic.
I think that this might be the first time where I disagree with you, Pedro, and I agree with Roy.
I like it. That's good.
This might be the first time. Because you want to know something? Okay, so this is just speaking for Ohio. I'm not sure if it's everywhere, but EBT out here You have to be working a certain amount of hours to get it. You cannot be jobless and still receive EBT. You have to be at least trying to put in applications or trying to find a job, going
Yeah.
to their job classes, or working like a minimum of 15 hours a week. So you have to be working. They don't just give it to people who are broke and don't want to work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like you said, inflation is absolutely crazy. Like, man, I wish I was on EBT. And you know what? I order DoorDash all the time. I would love to use EBT on DoorDash for the nights I don't cook, so the money that's in my bank account can be used to pay the bills in the house, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think that it's a bad thing. Obviously, there's going to be people out there who abuse it, obviously, but there's going to be people out there who are never able to use the app, moms who are just like tired and don't feel like cooking that night and just want to get something quick and easy for their family, and now they're able to access that and still leave a tip, probably a bigger tip than they would be able to if they were using the regular bank card. So
Yeah.
I just think as long as the people are tipping, even 50% of the people are tipping, I think it's actually going to be a good thing for us, because we'll have more order volume compared to the inflation of DoorDash drivers that are out here. And like you said, dude, I delivered to so many rich mansions doing earn by time lately, $0 tip. I'll
Yeah.
deliver to somebody in the hood, tip $15, $12. It literally happened to me yesterday. Like, so
Yeah.
many people who got money, they don't stay rich by spending money, and that's what they live by. So I don't get tips on them. But I don't care if it's junk food. I don't care if they're ordering a Burger King family meal. I could give a fuck less. You know, I got kids. They want snacks and stuff like that every now and again. If I had an EBT card, best believe, like, you know. So
I like it. I like
that's
it.
all.
Okay. Does it,
Adventures with Broke Mom. Go ahead and give us your thoughts on this.
hey Pedro, it's like been like almost 2 years since I've been in one of your lives.
I know it's been a minute.
I was in one of your lives like 2 years. I was just coming out of cancer treatment the last time I was in one of your lives, and now I'm back to work. But I want to explain something.
Let me ask you this. How you
I
doing?
am.
How you doing? You doing good?
We're good.
Good.
We're good. We're all clear so far. I have another round of testing to go in June, but I don't suspect anything is going to happen. But we're good. But I want to explain something. Just because I'm an EBT recipient, I get SNAP, which is the food assistance. And I think what people are misunderstanding is just because I have an EBT card and I get SNAP, I cannot order fast food. You have to be a cash recipient in order to use your EBT card to order fast food, like Subway, Burger King, McDonald's, the whole nine. So I think people are missing the mark when they may not know that, because it's called TANF, which is cash assistance. They all come on the same card. They all come on the EBT card. So if you think that someone is using an EBT card for a fast food order, they're receiving cash, because those rules have not changed. My opinion on, I don't have a problem doing, and I do them all. I do Spark, I do Instacart, and I do DoorDash. Matter of fact, I'm in my car now because I just ended my dash. I don't have a problem with people on EBT ordering food items, like an order from Instacart where we're going to a grocery store and we're getting other items, because I do agree with you on this, and I'm a recipient. What purpose is gummies and Kool-Aid and junk food? How is that helping you? It's not.
How does a double quarter pounder with cheese meal help a fat fucking person? What difference does it make? It's what they want to eat. It's what they want to eat. It's their choice. It's their money. If you have a problem with it, I would think the more concerning part will be cutting down on the amount of fraud that comes with SNAP and EBT benefits. But to tell people that, just because the government pays for it, you can't have candy.
Let her finish. Let her finish the thought.
Let me. If you want to use your cash assistance and order Burger King or McDonald's, I don't care. I could care less. I don't get cash assistance. I'm talking about EBT. And I think people misunderstood an EBT card doesn't mean you can go run to Burger King or McDonald's and order a meal. That's not what it means. It means you get cash assistance, and that is for you to spend at your leisure. I am talking about EBT, SNAP benefits. That's what I am talking about. And as a recipient and a gig worker, I have a problem with people being able to use SNAP benefits to send a DoorDash driver into Walgreens or CVS or wherever and pick up $50 worth of junk food and then not pay me to bring it to you. But my solution to the 100 orders I had to decline last week that were weighing in at about 300 or 400 pounds is I don't understand why EBT allows these companies to do this and then not give that recipient an allowance out of the SNAP benefits to tip your drivers. I'm not saying every time, I'm saying like twice a month.
I got something better than that. How about the government, instead of putting it in as a tip so it doesn't look like a tip, give it to DoorDash themselves and say, this is for the driver. For every EBT order, we'll give you $5 for every EBT order, strictly to DoorDash, and DoorDash gives us that $5 as a special delivery, you know, whatever fee for us for doing an EBT order. That's it.
I'm so sorry. Wait a second. So I'm so new to this. How do we know? Like, does it tell us when we take an order that they're using food assistance?
No, they don't. They don't show. They don't
do.
Okay.
On
Okay. So how is this any different than assuming somebody's an illegal immigrant? How do we know? Why are we assuming? Why do we give a fuck? Let them order their shit. So many non-tippers I've been seeing for the past 2 years. It's not going to make a difference. It is.
Yeah, but how is the government paying DoorDash? The government is paying DoorDash for the service fee, though. They're getting their money.
What's the difference? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I mean, so we be working for free then.
Are they taking your money out of your?
Might as well make every delivery free.
But you're not working for free. You're getting
out of your pocket. Your taxes are going to get taken whether the girl next door on EBT uses it for DoorDash or not. So, I mean, why?
I'm saying DoorDash is getting their money from the government, though.
And Dino, you're not getting. You're not working for free, Dino. You get to take the order. You make the choice. You just said you had $100 item pickup for $25. That's not working for free, right? That's $25.
Yeah, that Spark is giving the high. Nobody else is doing that. DoorDash is not doing that. Uber Eats is not doing that. Not even Instacart is doing that. That's just one company doing that.
You can't say you're working for free, bro.
Spark takes these orders and bunches them together and puts them out for $11 and wants us to go deliver them. I myself don't do that.
So are we getting mad?
And you can tell that they're EBT.
So for Spark, I don't understand that situation at all. Like, because I'm sorry, if somebody is using EBT for groceries, that's a whole different ball game of like, yes, they should be able to do that. Should they be able to order junk food off of DoorDash? And like, it's what they want to do with their money, but we can't get mad at them for ordering groceries and Spark not wanting to pay us more. They can't tip on that. They can't tip on EBT. So they're ordering groceries. They should be definitely allowed to order groceries.
And they have to pay the fees too. So obviously there is cash involved because even EBT recipients have to pay cash for the fees to use the service. So what Spark does is they know these people are paying EBT. They group them in triples, and our base pay is $9 because none of these people tip.
EBT?
They can pay
How
the
do
fee.
you know they're not just regular?
You can see it.
You can tell from the amount of items.
You have done it as long as I have. You can tell.
It's a high amount of items with no tip.
That it's EBT because they ordered Kool-Aid.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. And it's usually around the time of
it's the high amount of items. It's the high amount of items with no tip. There'll be like 50, 60, 80 items and no tip in it. That's not a normal Spark order you see all the time. Those are EBTs.
I want to welcome
exactly.
What's up, Trader? How you doing?
What's up, brother?
What's
up, guys?
I want to answer Gig Gal. Gig Gal had a really good question. Tatiana did. I want to answer it. You said, how do you know that they're on the SNAP or whatever, right? Because that's not my business. The only reason I knew Gig Gal was because this week when I tried to, they didn't have an item customer wanted. And her response to me was, well, I don't know. Try to give me something else. I don't know. It needs to be approved because this is going through SNAP. So she said that in the chat. That's the only reason I knew. It's not my business. But then I remember doing some of the Instacarts when you try to actually do a substitution. If it's done through that, like the substitute, it only allows
it would only let you get food.
Certain things, yeah, because you can't add certain things that they might not be approved. That's the only reason that I knew. I had never really seen it before. But that's a really good question because we shouldn't be assuming. And I thought that I wanted to let you know that that's what happened to me.
Right. And it's just like, I don't know, somebody who's ordering Kool-Aid and shit like that. Listen, Kool-Aid goes a long way. And if there's anything for people to be using EBT for, it's going to be Kool-Aid. I'm going to let you know right now. There is no, I mean, but for DoorDash, but for DoorDash, I do see the problem with it of them ordering a quarter pounder with cheese and getting it delivered through DoorDash. Like, I understand why people are upset about it, but at the end of the day, it ain't the business. If you don't want to take the order, don't take the order. That's it.
Trader, look, give us some perspective.
Look, I just want to throw in my 2 cents. Is my audio coming in good? We all good?
You're good, yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to Spark and Walmart, I don't have any issue with a customer using EBT or money, and you don't even know if you don't know, and it shouldn't matter. As long as the order is good and it's paying you enough, that's all you should worry about. But on the DoorDash side, I can understand certain people's gripes with orders coming from certain places, but being placed on EBT. But then I have to refer to what Gig Gal said. Like, how do you know? The only reason Pedro knew is because of that substitution issue.
Yeah.
But short of that, how do you know? And I'm putting myself in the moment. I'm on the order. It's a shop. It's on DoorDash, right? I'm facilitating this order. Up until me having any correspondence with the customer, I don't even know that order is from EBT or SNAP. In my mind, I'm on an order for a customer that made it worth my time. So, getting to the nitty gritty about what they ordering, is it worth it? Is it something that should be ordered with SNAP? Is it something that should be facilitated on food delivery? Like, I get the argument, but at the end of the day, when you in there and you're getting ready to scan them items, you've already made the decision that this order is worth your time. So at that point, why are you worried about if it's facilitated through SNAP, or if they got child support from their baby daddy, or if they borrowed $20 from Leroy down the street? Like, you getting paid your money.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Trader. That's not me in the comments. So
yeah,
whoever,
and that's all it boils down to. It's not your decision how they paid for it. They could paid for it with cocaine money. They could have paid it with weed money. They could have paid it with the quarters they collected on the corner. It's not anybody's responsibility to dictate what people buy with their money. And at the end of the day, once the government gives it to them, it's their money. Plain and simple. It's no longer the taxpayers' money. Yeah, it came from taxpayers, but it's their money at that point. It's their choice to buy whatever they want with it. Once again, it's their limit that they're limited to. So if they want to spend their whole $600 of SNAP money on cookies, ice cream, guess what? They're eating cookies and ice cream all month long. That's on them. That has nothing to do with us. And as long as you're getting your paycheck at the end of the week, who gives a shit how they paid for it? That's not the matter. What you got to worry about is your pockets. Our taxpayer money goes to all kinds of stupid shit nobody wants to fight about, but let's fight about whether or not motherfucker can buy candy or not. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but why is it okay for the government to pay the companies and not the driver?
Well, that's okay. That's a good point that Roy just made. I think it's a good segue because I also wanted to get into, has DoorDash, in my opinion, you guys might have a different one. It's not luxury anymore. I think it used to be a little more luxury, right? Food delivery overall. Right now, it is not a luxury service. We might want to think it is. To me, it's not. I think everybody orders, everybody uses it. It's convenience. That's fine. Everybody, it is what it is, right? But do you think if we have the more EBT, you can get hot food, if it's a cash SNAP or not cash SNAP, do you think we're going to start diluting? Like, we're going to have more orders, so it's going to dilute it and kind of water it down. And then do you think that somebody that's ordering that has SNAP, do you think most of those people will tip if they don't have extra money? I'll start with you, Roy.
As far as will they tip if they got extra money?
If they don't.
At the end of the day, bro, I really don't give a shit about somebody tipping or not. Mine's a little bit different because you guys know I'm forced to take orders. You guys aren't forced to take anything. So if you get a 250 that pops up on your screen, goodbye, because you know there's jack shit on it. But as long as the base pay, if it's 2 miles, $8.50, and it's all base pay, who gives a shit at that point? Nobody. It doesn't matter as long as it meets your matrix of miles to money. It doesn't matter who paid you the $8, whether it came $3 from DoorDash or $5 from the customer. It doesn't matter. You take the orders that match your metrics. So at the end of the day, the tip really means jack shit. You've all taken orders that were like $50 or high paid out fucking base pays. We've all done that.
No,
so
I can agree with that though, Roy, because at the core of the argument is the customer's not tipping enough when the company ain't paying us enough initially. So I can agree with you right there. Like if these companies were stepping up, paying good rates for base pay, tipping would actually be optional. Where we at right now, we all know you're not making money if it's not a tip associated.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Most of the time. But I just think that was really great that you said that. And I wanted to highlight that because I don't want anybody in the chat to miss it. Like these companies are paying us a wage. It doesn't matter if the order's on EBT. It doesn't matter if the order got a tip on it. You're making your money. And after that, you're making your money. Everything else don't matter. It only matters when, you know, there's a question of if the customer needs to tip enough or if this base pay is high enough in this situation.
I mean,
I agree with you.
But DoorDash, the base pay, it's not enough. What's up? It's not enough with the DoorDash and Uber Eats base pay, but at least with Spark it is. It's worth it. Yeah. But with DoorDash and Uber Eats, their base pay doing EBTs, it ain't worth it. I'm sorry.
They don't
Spark,
do it.
Spark
Man, what market are you in, guy?
The best
Tell me
suggestion
what market you're in where Spark doesn't hammer the drivers on these things. Because in my market, Spark is the absolute worst.
In my market, they pay you by the weight and the count. The more the count and the more the weight, the base pay goes up.
Well,
That's how it works in my market.
My suggestion to you, Dino, is take those apps, take them out of your phone, and do the ones that work for you. Instead of arguing over why DoorDash this, Uber Eats that. If you don't like the way Uber and DoorDash pays, guess what? Delete them from your phone and work the apps you want. Because they ain't going to change for Dino. They ain't going to change for Roy, Broke Mom, Gig Gal. They don't give a flying fuck about you. You're their employee. I'm going to keep saying that. You're their employee. They're going to pay you what they think people will take.
Yeah, but when you're doing something wrong, we're going to say it, Roy. We're going to say it.
Yeah, you can say it all you want. You can say it to your blue in the face, you can fall over dead. You're gonna say it to your blue in the face, fall over to your dead, and guess what? Somebody else is gonna come right up behind you and take that $2.50 order, not giving a shit. So what's the point? Just do your job, make the money you want to make, take the orders you want to take, and move the fuck on. That's all this shit. Too many people are worried about the politics and worrying about Ubers and Lyfts and DoorDash's pockets and not worrying enough about their own pockets. Deal with your own pockets. Stay the fuck out of these businesses' pockets. If you don't like the business, don't work for them. It's that simple. It's
but we're not going to keep quiet. We let others know what you just said too. Like you're just trying to say, right? You're trying to give your message to people to know, right? You're not keeping quiet. Same way with me. I'm not going to keep quiet. I want to give people that information as well. Just but like your
message is the same message for the last 5 years, Dino. If people haven't figured it out by now over the last 5 years, they're too dumb enough to figure it out ever. Plain and simple. I'm sorry. I learned it a long time ago. Pedro earned it a long time ago. Trader definitely earned it a long time ago. Learned it a long time ago.
Yeah, but
there's people in this chat right now that are still, after 5 years, listening to the same shit over and over again, say, "Oh, I didn't know that," or "I didn't."
But we get new people, man. We get new people. We don't have the same people all the time. We get new people every month. New people join in. People that never watched your show, my show, Pedro's show. We get new people. We don't stay around with the same people from 5 years ago. There's so many people that never heard of us for 5 years ago. They just found out about us yesterday. And they're hearing it for the first time from Pedro or me or you. They're hearing it for the first time.
Let's welcome, I think it's, I can't read, is it Trigger?
Nero Trigger, Mr.BetonYou.
Nero Trigger, how you doing, man?
That's fam right there. Treat them well.
First of all, I am a gamer channel, but I am a Uber Dasher and a DoorDasher. First of all, I want to say Dasher Trader and Mr.BetonYou, you're the reason I became a DoorDash driver. Thank you for that.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
And I just want to say I agree with both y'all videos. I watch y'all every day. And
That's what's up, man.
I watch
know-
every single time you go live and you be gaming. I'll be right there watching, even when I'm working. I just want to let you know. I'm glad we got to meet face to face.
New
Well, you
people
I watch every single one.
perspective. I like
well,
it.
you know, whipping ass is what I do in gaming. You know what I mean? I'm about to whip some of these no tippers asses soon too. Videos are coming soon. I'm gonna become a dasher video, so you could, man. Some of this shit I can't make up in my market. I swear. I had one today. Funny story for y'all. I had one today. Right, it's raining outside. Uber Eats. It was an Uber Eats delivery. You know, I'm multi-apping. Thank you, Dasher Trader, for that. So it's raining outside. It was an apartment building. Lady had no porch and everything. So in her mind, on the app, it said "Do not ring doorbell," but I didn't see that on the Uber Eats app. So she said leave her food on a park bench in front of her apartment. So I left it. So I left it there, and I was like, you know, it's raining outside. She ain't got no porch. Let me ring this lady's doorbell, you know, to be considerate. So I rung it. I'm about to pour out, and then when she came out to get her food, she looked at me like, I'm like, ma'am, is there a problem? She's like, I told you not to ring the fucking doorbell. I'm like, what the fuck you talking to, miss? I said, I try to be courteous and shit and not let your food get rained on, and you get mad at me from letting you know your food is when you want to know that your food is outside. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I thought I was going to get banned from Uber Eats on that, but you know, I didn't. And then I said, I know she's going to alter this tip. You got an hour to alter the tip. I know she's going to take every bit of that $10 away from me. But no, she didn't do it. You know, the tip went through, it stayed there. I was like, oh God, if there was no reports, I'm like, man, I'm like dashing trade on some days. No tip, no trip. You lucky you get your fucking food from me.
Listen, you can't, don't be too much like Trader. Trader's wild.
Don't.
No,
listen.
I was like,
at the same time, I get it though. At the same time, but you know, always protect your earnings,
hey, Pedro.
your earnings.
One second, Pedro. It was a pleasure again to be in a live with you. I'm back gig working. All is good. It was nice meeting you, all of you guys. Everybody stay safe out there. I'm going to duck out because I am a broke mom and I got 2 kids in there that are wondering where I'm at. And I'm out here talking with all y'all after I've been gone all day. So I'm going to go in and make some dinner.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank
Congratulations
you.
on being there.
Thank you. You guys will be seeing me more. And Pedro, I've been binge watching your videos to catch up because I've been working so much. I haven't had a chance. So I'll go binge watch and leave some comments for you.
Good. Just say I'm glad. Keep us up to date with what's going on with you, and then have a good night. Okay.
Absolutely. And I got my channel I'm gonna get my channel back up and running. I haven't put anything out in a really long time, so I'm gonna get back to doing that also.
I hear you. Stay safe out there.
And this comment's for Nero. This comment's for Nero, bro. You just got a wake up call today. Who gives a fuck about what these customers being nice to these customers? Your job is to deliver their shit, read the instructions, drop it, go. Fuck them. I'm sorry. I'm a strict guy. I follow whatever it says. That's what they get. If they're too stupid to fucking realize it's raining outside and they tell you leave it at the door, leave it at the door. That's on them, bro. That's not on you. So you learned a hard lesson today. Don't be nice to them because they really, at the end of the day, they give 0 fucks about you.
Hey, Nero, real quick, Nero. I got a little bit for you, real quick. I'm sorry, Pedro. I mean, interrupt you, bro. But I'm sorry that happened to you. But I just want to, instill in you and remind you, look, we all got a certain amount of energy. And a lot of times, we don't expect those situations to happen, but they will happen. And when they do, we got to just try to, make sure we're not giving too much of our energy to people who don't really matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
And protect your earnings, bro.
I had something else I wanted to say, but that story made me forget. It'll come back to me.
Well, let me. I want to ask each of you guys one last question. I'll start with Roy. We'll go to Dino, Gig Gal, Trader, and then Nero at the end. So, how do you guys? What do you think is going to happen when? Do you think the option for somebody to order if they have Snap or EBT or whatever, it doesn't, do you think that it's going to be opened up more to where they can order, with the cash option, Jack in the Box, Wingstop, this, that, like? Do you think that we're going to see a growing trend? Is it going to go to the catering apps? Is it going to go to other things? Is it going to go to Uber to where you can get a ride? Like I'm for it. At the end of the day, everybody needs something sometimes, right? We've all probably been there. we've all been there. But do you think we're going to start seeing more opportunities for people to use the government assistance in other ways besides just what is currently happening? Do you think it's going to evolve into more stuff? Roy, I'll start with you.
I think so. Yeah, sure. And I don't have a problem with it. Of course it is. Because right now, with the inflation, everything going on, these restaurants, they're struggling just as much. And if they're able to get money, whether it's from government money or other people's money, they're going to accept it. And the more people that accept it, you got Wingstop, Jack in the Box, the more people that accept it, yeah, they're going to take it, and more power to them. It's money in their pockets, money in your pocket. It's food in their stomach, whether it's candy or ice cream, doesn't matter. It's still food in their stomach. And that's the most important part, is you're helping people.
Dino, you're next, brother.
Well, I'm going to say it goes without saying, if they want to get more votes, yeah, this is going to go into everything. It's going to go into everything because they want the votes. They want the votes, and obviously, the more happier these people are, the more votes they're going to get.
Why y'all laughing?
It's a business.
Roy, why y'all laughing at that? Roy, why you laughing?
The whole vote thing? Dude, that's ridiculous, bro. They're not voting because they get
what's going on now?
Come on, bro. Let's be honest. People ain't voting because they get to spend their EBT at Jack in the Box, bro. Come on, use some goddamn common sense, bro. That's why I'm laughing. That sounds
because you only know a little bit of it. The housing assistance comes with the EBT as well, Roy. There's a lot. It's a big package. It's not just EBT, Roy.
Okay, so when you find out the person lives in Section 8, are we going to have a discussion like this? Oh, they shouldn't be able to order DoorDash because they're at Section 8, and we should.
No, we're talking about why are they doing it? Why is the government going to go into other ventures?
Because the government is looking to get money to feed its fucking people, man. That's what it is.
Because they love us?
Oh no, because they don't want to feed people. They want to bet the dead motherfuckers on the street starving to death. That's why. That's it. Come on, bro. Like, what the fuck? Right. But I don't ever remember seeing on a ballot that I voted. Can we vote yes or no for being able to spend your EBT at McDonald's? Like, what the fuck? Come on, bro. That's how 40, bro.
Okay.
Gal, give me some thoughts. What do you think? You think it's going to open up into other things?
I think that it would open up to food, not Uber rides. I don't think so. I mean, maybe something that would be cool is that when they go to apply for that stuff, if they could get like a credit for Uber in itself or a rideshare thing, because I'm all about helping people. Listen, I come from the hood. I come from the broke. I like to see the people because they are good, genuine people. I love, obviously, if you grew up in the ghetto, then you know, like everybody's on Section 8, everybody's on EBT, everybody. Some people got out. I was one of the ones that got out. But there's some genuine ass people down there who are genuine, do tip. Most of them work in the freaking service industry, so they know all about tipping. Most of them work in these restaurants. They know all about tipping. It's the higher up people who are like, don't know. But anyways, I don't think that they're going to go to like Uber rides and stuff like that. But I think he has a bigger problem with the government than he does with somebody using EBT on staff.
Oh, Dino hates the government.
Yeah, it's more government. Like, it should be more, you should be on Hannibal's instead. He talks more about that because it ain't that deep. It's not that deep. And I'll tell you one thing, you guys would not be saying a goddamn thing, a gosh darn thing, if that person who is using EBT tipped you $25 on a simple order. You guys would not be complaining.
I think that's a great point. I think it would be cool though if somebody's like trying to look for a job, they're trying to get a job, whatever, and Uber was like helping those individuals get around. I think that would be pretty dope because that's like actually helping somebody. Because when you're trying to find work and you got to take 4 or 5 buses to an interview, that sucks. Right?
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? So I think there's other ways that they could actually help people that need a little bit of assistance beyond just food. I think there's other things, and some of those programs are out there, but they're not necessarily affiliated with like some of the companies. They're more like with the churches or this or that. You know what I mean? Local
you know what, Wick, I was on Wick. Wick was cool. It gave me a lot of things to use. I was able to get fruits and vegetables, but the only thing is just that food stamps, you can get more. You can get different brands and stuff like that, and you can get whatever you want that's cold food, right? I just hate the fact that people really think in their heads that poor people are only allowed to eat healthy half the time. They're only allowed to eat healthy. They're not allowed to have junk food. They're not allowed to have this. They're not allowed to have fucking Kool-Aid. They're not allowed to have Kool-Aid, apparently, is what that last, like, we're not allowed to have Kool-Aid? Like, no. We should be able to get a freaking sweet treat if we want a sweet treat. You know?
To your point, yeah, this whole idea that poor people should only eat healthy. Last time I was in the hospital, I've seen just as many fat rich people and fat middle class people that I saw fat poor people. So to say that they can only eat healthy because they got WIC or not WIC or EBT is just fucking ridiculous. Because at that point, you're gonna have to start saying, okay, now if you want to come to the hospital, you can only eat salads because you're 400 fucking pounds. There's a fine line. You got to draw the line. And like I said, it doesn't matter as long as you're getting paid. I don't give a shit if they use EBT to give a Lyft ride down the street to the movie theater. Who cares? As long as your pocket's getting filled, it doesn't matter. I'd rather see us as Americans getting paid with our tax dollars than fucking Ukraine and all these other countries that we're giving free shit to all the time. So I'd rather see that EBT tax money from me if it helps Gal get to her next interview or it helps her to get to the movie theater with her kids to watch some fucking movies. I'd rather do that than give it to some fucking other these fucked up countries that do nothing for us. So that's the way I look at it. So I don't care. And at the end of the day, if my pocket's fatter when I get out of my car that night, I don't give a shit where the money came from. I don't care. It could be drug money. I don't give a shit. As long as my pocket's fatter, that's all that matters.
Yeah, but shouldn't the topic be more about, are they forcing more people to be on EBTs with this stupid economy and the games they playing? They're talking about what kind of food they're eating.
No, all the fucking idiots that voted for Biden caused that. So those are the people you can blame for that. Those people.
Broke people, right? Not just broke
people. Is there more people now on EBT than they were 4 years ago? Yes or no?
Time you went grocery shopping. That's just expensive. That stuff is expensive. I should apply right now. That's probably what I'm going to do when I get off.
That's what I'm saying. What's the reason why it's expensive and more people on EBT? How did that happen?
But guess what? If I got approved for EBT right this second, I would definitely order DoorDash for myself. Try me. I will, and I'll tip. And that's the only main problem that anybody has with the gig apps is the tipping.
Yes.
That's fair. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the tip. Doesn't matter what they spend it on.
The thing is, I get more. Like when I have an EBT order, it'd be a good tip on there because they have that assistance and so they able to tip. That's my experience. At the end of the day, you got to remember, everybody is going to be individual.
And at the end of the day,
but I'm just letting you know,
sorry, Trevor. Sorry,
it doesn't.
But at the end of the day, it's called assistance. Not everybody on EBT is a broke fuck and don't work. That's what I think a lot of people also don't realize. Just because you on EBT doesn't mean you don't have a job. So at the end of the day, if I have a job and I still collect EBT, guess what? That's my tax money coming back to me versus the government taking it. So if I can benefit from my own tax dollars and I get some assistance and I want to buy fucking cookies, more power to me. I paid for my own cookies anyways. So I think a lot of people don't realize that. They think, EBT, you're automatically a broke motherfucker. No, I'm sure Pedro's family still worked. They still got food assistance. My parents growing up, they worked, both of them had a job and they got food assistance. We've all been there on the food assistance plane. And, the whole idea, I think that's what a lot of people just don't realize is that, EBT, they just got to be broke, sitting at home, playing with themselves and shit like that. No, it's not necessarily the case. And so
I want to read this comment real quick. Hold on, guys, from Ryan. This is actually pretty good. We drivers are so dependent on people making bad decisions with their money or assistance. That is true. We are dependent on people. Bad,
I wish rich people.
But it's only a bad decision if you broke.
It's only a bad decision
if you're not broke. Then it's a luxury service.
Okay.
It was at this moment he knew.
So is it my turn yet? Did we forget about the order of selection? Is it my turn?
I'm gonna head out. So.
All right, girl. Have a good one. Thanks for not interrupting me tonight. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye.
That's so funny.
Go ahead, Trader.
So look, DoorDash is partnering with companies that accept EBT and SNAP assistance, and they lobbying for more approval of that assistance. So it's not a matter of are we going to see more of it? It's before DoorDash and Uber even came around, they were already trying to find ways to get hot food on EBT. If you go down in the hood, it's places where you can purchase food.
Oh yeah.
And then have it cooked. You purchase it pre-cooked. and then they cook it for you for free.
Yeah.
on
And then there are
EBT.
some of the bodegas and the corner stores that there's ways around. They'll give you credit for certain things, and you can get the hot. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Dead ass.
So
You can
these
go to
things have
7-Eleven and buy a
already been
burrito.
happening, and it's already been pushes to get these types of things paid for with those government approved benefits, whatever we want to call them, EBT, SNAP, whatever. So now we just have a company that's behind that push to get that done, lobbying, going to these companies, making deals with them on a base level, and then expanding that to other levels of government. And that's really all it amounts to. Once that begins to happen and they lobbying for that on the next bill that's coming up for whatever pipeline or whatever, they're trying to add that in as an earmark, that's how it's going to happen. So it's not a matter of if, it's just when.
Yeah, but we don't know what they're paying, what they're getting paid. That's the thing.
And we're not going to know. And
we know what the restaurants and the businesses paying DoorDash for the delivery fee, because it gets out on the news that we're paying this much, 15%, whatever. What is the government paying DoorDash for these EBT orders? We don't know.
Well, that's a whole nother discussion. But the point is, it's happening, and it's going to continue to happen at multiple levels, whether we like it or not. I'm gonna make my money off the orders. Like I said earlier, like most of the orders I get, that's with any type of government assistance. We're talking about specifically EBT for a grocery order. I see them through Spark most of the time. And like we talked about earlier, I don't know if they order through EBT until after I accept the order. And you may ask yourself, well, how do you know? Because on orders that they order a lot of items, it's a high item count, like y'all were talking about earlier. It'll be 1 or 2 items that's over in the sports section or in the medicine aisle, stuff that's not going to be EBT approved. And if you know anything about the customer interface on the other side, you would have to place 2 separate orders if you place an order that got those extra items on it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how you can tell if it's a pure grocery order with no tip. That's probably a EBT order. If it's all grocery items and it's no tip, and it's been on there for a long time, and it's an ASAP order, and the base pay went up a whole bunch, but it's no tip, it's EBT order. And a lot of times you'll get an order that's EBT order, and they'll have an upfront tip on there. So,
but most of the Spark drivers that I work with,
it's not going to be a situation where you ain't going to make money on the order. It's just a situation where it may take longer for that order to have that value for you to be able to complete it at a base pay and it be profitable, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Yeah. Let me get Nero Trigger in here. What's that say? The sign behind you. Impact what?
Oh, well, my name is Nero Trigger, but the actual name of my channel was Impact Streaming.
That's what's up. I like that. I like that sign, man. It looks good.
Yeah, I made it myself. I had hair back then, and a goatee, but it's gone now.
So did Roy. Roy had hair back then too, probably.
Yeah. Mine is for short.
Yeah, until I started doing DoorDash often. Shit.
My hair started turning gray. That's why I cut it off when I started doing DoorDash. But that's another story altogether. But my answer is going to be short and sweet. So whether you use EBT or whatever, I don't give a good goddamn what you use, as long as you tip and treat me fairly.
That's fair. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I want to say this, and I'm glad you guys, Roy, Dino, Gig Gal, Broke Mom, Trader. Glad you guys came in here. I think you guys are all, giving us some perspective. I think for me, when I do honest, and I see I'll be $1. It was $6.75. I assumed there wasn't a tip, and I dropped it off, and she tipped me $3. So shame on me for assuming something, because I saw sometimes you can get a lot of.
How many? Because the base pay usually be high on those shops. So I
know, yeah.
Did they lower the base pay on the shops? Because $3 on a base pay is crazy for a shop.
The base pay was $3.75.
That's crazy. Okay, for a
shop. Tip was $3. So but yeah, the base pay it seems like it's going down.
They started to hit that dynamic base pay even on the shops where it used to just straight up be higher. Every single shop you did would have a higher base pay no matter what. So they've found ways they gotta.
Yeah, things are going down, man. The base pays are going down. It is what it is.
Well, I don't do shopping pays. I mean, I got my red card, but I don't even use it because I think shopping pays. I'm sorry, I hold myself as y'all got your trademarks like fastest dasher alive. If you want me to go in there and shop for you and wait in line for you, I want to immediately upfront $20. regardless of how many miles you are. You gotta have to pay me some money if you want me to sit in there, shop for you. Shit. And then if you live, God forbid, you live in an apartment building, and I gotta go up 4 flights of stairs with your shit. I'm sorry, stuff. You know what I mean?
No, but that's a fair argument though, because in your market, the cost of business may necessitate that higher. I don't know what your cost of living is, your gas prices, in your traffic situation, and your saturation levels. Your cost of business may facilitate. Hey, anything that's a shop, it got to be 20. Don't even matter if it's 1 mile, because you may have 20 items and it may be traffic, and I get it. That's reasonable.
Because I can tell you right now, in
my
market,
do you think possibly you could be missing out on some opportunities though, if it's maybe like a 17 for 1 and it's just a couple items? Could there be some wiggle room right there, or is it just straight up 20 or nothing?
I just think from the time on DoorDash specifically, for the time I'm wasting shopping for you and going in the market and everything, I could be taking other orders like on about offer that add up to what I'm already getting anyway. I just think it's a waste of time unless you're paying a minimum double on that. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
You'll put it this way: if you ask your friend to do it, hey, go to Walmart, pick up these things for me as a friend. Go do this for me, and he shows up at my house. Here's $20 for doing me a favor.
Let me elaborate on that. Okay, like what you just said, like. Let's say you take I was told this by a customer, but like maybe some people don't like the tip. Maybe they tip out at the door. So taking these $2, $3 orders may be beneficial to you. I'm like, yeah, but do you want to take that chance?
But I have some breaking news for you. The more and more that base pay goes down, your ability to stop doing it and find something else to do that'll better your life doesn't. So at the same time, you got to remember that. So
hold on. Well, I do have a full-time job. I just do DoorDash.
Oh, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the one up next to me, because he's the one.
Saying it like it is, I bet you don't tip, do we?
Who don't tip?
Like
Damn, why Dino gotta be a non-tipper, man?
You know what?
I'm just thinking at the attitude. I mean,
I just said, if a friend of mine that I don't have to give him a dime, I tell him to go to Walmart and do this favor for me, I'm still gonna give him $20. So why would somebody that is not a friend is going to give $3 and $4 and $5 for that same favor? You know what I'm saying?
I hear you on that.
I mean,
because people don't give a shit about people anymore. That's why people don't give a shit about people anymore. That's why our country's down the fucking toilet right now. It's because everybody's more worried about themselves, and so that's the problem. And not to mention, tipping has become a fucking joke in the United States. You wonder why people don't want to tip you guys? Because Starbucks guy wants a tip. The fucking guy delivering your newspaper wants a fucking tip. The guy that just fucking put air in your tire wants tips. Everybody wants fucking tip nowadays. You go to Walmart and you have to scan your own shit, and the person at the checking your receipt, can I get a tip? That's why you don't get tips anymore.
But common sense will tell these people, we're talking about food delivery here. You know, getting in your car, delivering you your food. We ain't talking about going to Subway, ordering food, and the guy putting a tip on the register. Why do you deserve a tip when this is your job? You make minimum wage. I don't. You know what I mean?
Let me ask Pedro something. Hey, Pedro.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, when they gave you a $3 tip and the gas was $1 a gallon, how many gallons of gas could you get with $3?
Almost 4.
No, when it's only $1 a gallon. So they give you $3.
Oh yeah, you can get 3.
You get 3 gallons of gas, right? Now that it's $4 and they give you $3 in gas, can you get at least 1 gallon? You can't even do that. You can't even get a 1 gallon.
Yeah.
You see, that's what I'm saying. The same tips that they're tipping back in the 90s, which is like $3, you can get 3 gallons of gas. But today they're tipping you the same way. They're giving you a $3 tip. You cannot even get 1 gallon of gas with that $3. They got to pay you $9.
Didn't have as many electric vehicles back then either, Dino.
They got to pay you $12 in tips to get 3 gallons of gas today. So that $3 value in the 90s is $12 today to match a $3 that was back in the 90s.
Okay, and I could buy a piece of candy back in the day for fucking 10 cents. Now it costs me $1. What the fuck does that matter, bro?
It matters because, hey, Roy, it matters because the tips they're paying you, they're still paying you tips from back then. That's why it matters. They're tipping you today in 2024 with the tips that you were getting back in the 90s, 30 years ago. That's what matters. You can't get nothing with it. You can't even get chiclets with it. You can't get nothing with $3 today or $4 today.
Yeah, you can. You can go to 7-Eleven, buy a fucking frozen burrito on your EBT, and you can heat it up in the microwave. Yeah, you can buy a lot of stuff with $4. It depends on how you budget your money. That's the problem. Everybody wants to live the rich life, but they don't have the rich.
No,
money.
Nobody's living the rich life. The basic stuff. The prices went up on everything, Roy. Not just the
well, yeah, because it's called inflation, and you're talking shit that happened 30 years ago, bro. Like nothing's the same. Our hairstyles aren't the same like 30 years ago. Come on, bro. Like you're trying to compare today with fucking like yesteryear, and it does. What's next? Okay, in 1885, when they had wooden wheels, you could buy one for fucking $1. Now you got to pay $55 for a wooden wheel.
Yeah, but we're not getting our money though. We're not getting our money. We're getting the same money that we're getting back in the 90s in tips.
And guess what? Whose responsibility for that? It's you. At the end of the day, if you don't want the same money you were making 30 years ago, find something that pays you more. How about that?
Well, this is what I'd say to that. I kind of see what you're saying, but I think we have to. The pizza that I delivered in 1991, while gas cost is more and inflation's higher, the job that I did in 91 delivering that pizza to Trader is the same exact job in 2024, right?
I was 1 year old.
Well, you know what I'm saying, right? I think most customers just look at it like I'm going to tip $3 or I'm going to tip $5, and they're not putting in the equation of the inflation and the times. I get your point though. Like we're delivering now and we're making less.
Yeah, right? and you're not wrong, but like you said, like it's the cost of living, inflation, like these are things that what's happening regardless of if these apps were created 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? These things were already happening. So that is valid what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like we got a whole generation of consumers.
Yeah, but the customers agreeing with the rest of the stuff that they're paying though. They're agreeing with, we should pay the inflation like on the rent. Or the gas is $4, we need to pay that. But when it comes to the tip, we're going to keep it back in the 1990s. But everything else, we're going to be up to 2024. That's fine. But when it comes to tipping, we're going to pay them like we did back in the 90s.
Yeah, but you also got to look at you got to also look at a different generation. People back in those days had more respect for people. People nowadays don't have respect for nobody. So that's another thing you're not taking into account for, bro. If people actually had respect for delivery drivers, they had respect for people that did them service. And nowadays, everybody thinks it's a luxury. And because we have a society right now that blows your fucking head up thinking you're special, they don't feel that they need to tip you because you got people that think they're special now because mommy and daddy never whooped that ass and told them they weren't nobody special. And that's the problem. So back then, they respected you more.
It's a sad world. Unfortunately.
Hey, Mr. BetonYou, on the other side, can they see how far they are from the restaurant?
The customer?
Yes.
Yeah, I think sometimes when
they can.
It does. The mileage on DoorDash is actually kind of there, but I don't think a lot of customers really look at that. And also, you might be close to a McDonald's and you think it's coming from that Mickey D's, but that Mickey D's might be closed. It might the tablet might be off, and it might route the driver to a Mickey D's 5 miles away. So I think the consumer knows sometimes, but I don't think that's something that they're about often.
Because I got to tell you, McDonald's is one thing, but in my market, I don't deliver from Taco Bell. I don't deliver from KFC. I don't deliver from Popeyes. And I definitely don't deliver from Wendy's.
That's a lot of places you missing opportunities from,
bro.
Bro,
You bougie. Bro, you bougie.
No, don't, man.
Is they all trash for real?
They are all trash in my market. Trust me.
I put where I'm at.
I'll put where I'm at in the chat.
They have a turnover rate though. Every 2 months, you got to give them another shot. Like that's all I'm saying. Like they may be on the blacklist for like a summer, but then when the school year start, everybody went back to school. They got a whole new staff. You got to give them a shot again. That's how you make your money.
That's why I'm at. Read the chat. That's where I'm at.
He said he done all the fast food joints.
Yeah, no. Because I deliver to like Chipotle, Playables.
You got a catering app?
No, I'm gonna do I got a catering app?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I just use Uber
But you got your W-2 and you using it on the side anyways. You're getting your money. That's all that
Yeah.
I got you.
I mean, I'm not opposed to taking no tip orders. I will take some, but if I see one like Uber Eats, I mean, let me tell you how dumb Uber Eats is. 29 miles for, I think it was, I need to start taking screenshots of this stuff. 29 miles for like $5. You want me to go all the way to DC from where I'm at there? I just told people where I was. You want me to go all the way to I'm 29 miles from Washington, DC, and you want me to go all the way there to deliver something for $5?
Do you have tolls on the highway where you at?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So not only is it 29 miles, you literally have to pay.
So has your mind changed any, Pedro, on what we've been saying?
Actually, you know what? I'm glad you asked that. A little bit. I was trying to say it earlier. I think when I was doing at Walgreens, I didn't know it was SNAP. It's not my business to know that. I only found out because of she told me it was SNAP, right? And then I'm looking at all the items and I'm like, damn, she's ordering a lot of junk. And I'm like, I didn't know that if you were on SNAP, you could order junk food. I had no idea. Okay.
I got a question. Quick.
I definitely feel like, you know, I have a little more of an understanding as to why somebody might want to do that, because they can. And yeah, you want a treat, you got the kids home, you want to give them a treat, it's their birthday, it's whatever. So I get it. I just don't, you know, I think we're going down a slippery hole of like, listen, and it's not, I'm not a government official, but to me, if I could change something, I think they should be able to order hot food, nutritional, like things that are actual meals. And it should be, in my opinion, it should be like a little bit of a balance. You can order some trash, but you can't order all trash. That's how I look at it. But I definitely feel like I was assuming a little bit in that moment with the Walgreens. And now I have a little better understanding as to how the system works, if that makes sense, you know?
But if we go with your logic, if you feel, let's say you were to change it that they could order hot food, then are we going to dictate what? Then it comes down to now we got to dictate what kind of hot foods. Oh, they can order hot wings, but they can't order a double quarter pounder with cheese, because then you fall into that trap where now you're trying to dictate what hot foods they can eat.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
We'll definitely be delivering crabs.
Crabs. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, let's say that lady spent her $6, or she spent $20 on a couple tubs of ice cream, whatever, that satisfies her sweet tooth for the month. Or would you rather have to pay $50, $60 for a hot meal every day? What's gonna end up costing more is the hot meals, because the Chipotle bowl is gonna cost $12 when she could order, you know, a tub of ice cream for the kids if that's what they wanted for dinner. Because we all had kids. There'd be days, hey mom, can we get some ice cream for dinner? And you give your kids cereal for dinner or ice cream just to satisfy your kid and give them something good. We've all had kids. So if the kids wanted fucking bowls of ice cream for dinner, then she ordered ice cream for them. So, you know, at that point, you're having to dictate, okay, what kind of hot food? Well, now do we dictate they can't have lobster and steak? They can only have burgers and fries? You know, it's just a slippery slope that we're going to start.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like if somebody's getting $500 a month or whatever, like they should be able to order whatever they want. That's my point. So I was just taken back by the fact that she got all junk food. I was like, what? And I was being a little critical. And, you know, that's just me being honest. I was like, why is she ordering all this junk? But yeah, if you got $500, you should be able to use that $500 for whatever you want. But my whole thing is like, if we're as drivers now, we're going to be, you know, doing these services for people using it. And I think sometimes it could be a benefit for us if there's a tip. But if there isn't, you know, it's going to kind of suck. But that's with anybody, regardless of where the money's coming from. But definitely appreciated the insight and just kind of having a conversation and getting people's perspective on it. I think it's just interesting, man. To Roy's point, people don't care about each other. I see that, but I also think there are a lot of people still that do give a fuck about one another. You know, it's just we're divided in so many other ways. But I honestly, my standpoint is we're more similar than we are not similar, in my opinion, regardless of what political side you're on or whatever. I think at the end of the day, we're all just trying to like live and have some joy and take care of our family. And that's commonality between anybody, regardless of how much you make, regardless of where you're from. But I think now it's just so weird. Like we've just enabled everybody. We're all enabled here. We all can have anything delivered within 20, 30 minutes. It's just crazy how quick the world has just evolved in food delivery. And the pandemic obviously just spearheaded all of that. Because, you know, we're not having all these gig channels without COVID, right? We just don't, you know, everything has happened so quickly in the last 4 years. It's just kind of weird and fascinating to think 4 years from now, how much more is it going to be different, better or worse. I don't really know, but
If there's 4 years from now.
But I think the most important question that we haven't come to yet, and I think the chat wants to know, and I really want to know, did she at least buy some quality ice cream and cookies and shit? Or did she buy some shitty ass cookies? Like, what you buy? Like,
She got Haagen-Dazs.
okay, so it was Haagen-Dazs ice cream bars. Okay, it was a Walgreens branded pineapple fused gummy bears, and then it was what was the other thing? A cookie. It was one of the fancy cookies, like they're in like the little white little things.
the mulattoes the Pepperidge Farm
like,
cookies. Okay,
yeah, the
And
fancy.
she mixed everything in the ice cream.
at least she's got taste when she's ordering junk food. That's important. Like, you can order.
I love a good gusher every once in a while. She had
Yeah,
great.
now, if she would have bought single stuffed Oreos and not the double stuff, then we might have had it. So a little bit of.
Oh no, you gotta go doubles. Oh, dude. All right, I
Y'all
want to
silly.
give you guys opportunity to get whatever you want to plug your channel if you want. What you guys got going on? Some final thoughts.
Let me go first with my final thoughts.
Ready.
I appreciate the opportunity. Look, guys, thanks for having me on first and foremost. You know, I appreciate the opportunity. But I just want to address the question that's basically was the banner that you had up before. Is the EBT and the SNAP diminishing DoorDash as a luxury service? Even though I don't have no problem with the SNAP orders, and a lot of times I do get a tip when I do them, and I think it's another opportunity, I still think that it absolutely diminishes the level of this being a luxury service for people who are generous. And it's definitely going to be more no-tip orders on every platform from Spark to DoorDash to Uber, whatever, because of more SNAP orders being on there. But will I take them? Absolutely, because if they got a tip and they meet my parameters, I'm going to do it. Or matter of fact, I shouldn't even say if you got a tip. If it meet my parameters, I'm going to do it, period. And that's the way I see it. So I do think that it's going to diminish it as a luxury service, but that we already heading in that direction. Like, they trying to be profitable, all these gig companies, and being just a luxury service ain't enough for them. They need more of a consumer base than just luxury service people to make a profit on the open market. And that's what I think.
They want every customer.
They need every customer. The generous customers, not so generous customer, the people who didn't even know they was a customer. They need them all.
Yeah. And I'll go with mine. As you can see, the name of the channel is right underneath me. I do hurt feelings, so if you don't want your feelings hurt, you can come on down and over and have a good time. Have a party atmosphere in the background. So we talk about a lot of shit on my channel, and you may agree with me, you may don't. I really don't give a fuck at the end of the day. As you can tell, I don't care. But the point of this is we need to stop worrying about what other people are doing. Worry about yourself. At the end of the day, once again, it's your bills that got to be paid. I don't care. Like I said, if they want to order what they want to eat, more power to them. As long as I'm paying my bills, I don't give a shit how I made the money. And that's how you guys should be. Even if it is on EBT, whether it's the billionaire down the street, as long as your pocket's fat when you get out of your car at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And just keep that in mind when you do it. You don't have to accept the due-to order. Don't take the due-to order. Just worry. Like, who cares what people eat? Nobody, you don't want nobody dictating what you eat. Because you in the McDonald's eating some nasty ass hot dog, shit, the person's like, they're not telling you what to eat. So my deal is just let people be people. If they want to eat cookies for the fucking next month and that's all they bought, then more power to them. At the end of the day, who cares? As long as I get to eat my steak and lobster with the money I made off delivering those EBD cookies, I don't give a shit. That's all that matters. So with that being said, y'all have a great night. I'm going to let y'all go. Always a pleasure being on your show, Pedro. It's always a pleasure.
I appreciate you coming on. I saw you was hurting some feelings last night. That was funny.
Oh yeah. I was hiding out. I was hiding out for like 3 or 4 days, just watching everybody, and I'm like, good Lord, this community is gone. And as far as it becoming a luxury service, there is no this job became a lack of luxury service a long time ago. Yeah. I'm sorry, people. If you still think this is a luxury service, it's not. To be honest with you, it's gotten to the point now. It's just a job, and you just got to go out like any other job and make your money doing it. But as far as luxury, fuck it. When they dropped it to $2, you lost luxury a long time ago. So, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. And like I said, you guys have a great day. Thanks for having me.
Dino, you're next.
Roy,
Well, I want to
Say
close
what?
out. I want to close out with this: is that with the exception of all the kids, the rest of us we are grown ass human beings, and we should know right from wrong. And there's no excuse that we don't know common sense and logic. If that's the case, that's on them. If they don't know right from wrong and they can't tell common sense and logic in life, that's on them. Because there's a saying, on a deaf man's door, you can knock all you want, he's not going to hear you. So there you go. And that's that.
That's that. I like Nero, final thoughts, my friend.
Later, guys.
Well, first of all, I just really appreciate being on the show. Mr. BetonYou, I've been trying to get your attention for quite a while. Same with Dash and Trader. I'm a really big fan, but yeah, I agree that it stopped being a luxury service a long time ago. But at the end of the day, common sense would tell people to treat your driver right and just treat them fairly. Because, like I said, I agree with you. You don't tip, you are a clown, and you don't need to be using the service. But at the end of the day, because I got the comments to get a real job. Like, I do have a real job. I got a 40-hour job. I just do DoorDash Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for a little extra cash.
Nice.
And everything. But at the end of the day, I'm still a driver. And if I'm bringing you your food and I'm getting in my car, wasting my own gas, I had one that should tip me 15 cents one time. It would have been better if you left me nothing. You know what I mean?
Crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy. But
that's even. I'd rather you not tip me anything than tip me a couple of pennies. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. It's like the balls it takes to do that.
It does.
Where can people find you, man? Go ahead and shout out your channel again. It's a gaming channel, right?
Yeah, it's a gaming channel for right now. And I do have some DoorDash stuff on there, and some. I do a lot of even though I'm a relatively small channels, I do meet other YouTubers. I go to Comic Cons. I'm at every con, so and everything. But my name is Nero Trigger. There's only one on YouTube. I'm the only one. Just look for this symbol behind me there. Pretty much gaming, all type of game, let's plays, walkthroughs, how to get through a certain puzzle, and everything gets live and unedited because I'm not some fake game out there to make you think I'm better than I'm already am. I want you to see me die. I want you to see me struggle through the game like I'm already doing.
Yeah. For all the gamers out there, or people that like to watch that, I know that's a really popular niche on YouTube and Twitch and various places. Definitely go check them out. I appreciate you coming on the show. I always love when I see a new face that hasn't been on a panel and you come up. I really, really like that. So I think you were kind of like happy to be here. I'm equally happy that you came on. So I just need to share that with you. And I appreciate you coming on. I hope to see you again sometime soon, man.
You are. Well, I ain't hard to find. Thank you, everybody. And, you have a good night.
You too. All right. Great panelists, I guess. I really enjoy, this is a gig channel. We talk about other things besides gig at times. We talk about, but obviously we talk a lot of DoorDash. We talk a lot of gig economy. We talk about what's going on in it. But I always like that we can have a lot of different people on this channel. Anybody and everybody's welcome to come on the channel. I open it for everybody. It's pinned. You can come in and boom, boom. If I see you, you're up. Regardless if we agree or not agree, there's always something you can learn from somebody that has walked a different path than you, has a different opinion than you do. And I think a lot of us need to do a better job sometimes, maybe not you, maybe not me, but a lot of us, of just listening more and talking less. I'm trying to do that. I try to listen more, talk less, and I talk a lot, right? But the more that we can listen and understand somebody else's plight and their situation, their reasoning behind things, their perspective, I think the better off you become. You become a more well-rounded individual when you're not just stuck in your own mind. And listen, I'll be honest, I get stuck in my own mind, especially when I'm doing gig work, because it's about money. Like the panelists said, right? Like you guys said in the chat, nobody really cares, and this is not irrelevant content if there's a tip. Pedro, you wouldn't care if they tipped $20, right? Now, I might still think, damn, they got a lot of junk food in on Snap. Damn, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know. And that's my ignorance. I didn't know that you could do that. I did not know you could order junk food on Snap. I had no idea. Now I know. Right? And it's not my issue. It's not my problem. It's not my concern. It's none of my business. Right? But when I was doing it, I was just like, I was more surprised. And then I was like, she probably didn't tip, and she did tip. And I'm like, I learned a little bit something this week. I learned a little bit tonight, and I appreciate that. I like that. I like that we can do that on this channel, and we can do it without getting all crazy and people getting their feelings hurt. We can just organically just kind of talk about it, and I think that that's really good. So I appreciate everybody that came on. Shout out to Roy. Let me see if I can get the names right. Roy was here, Gig Gal, Trader, Dino, Nero, Broke Mom. I think that's everybody, right? I think I got it. I'm bad. I always tend to forget somebody. Let's see here. Ricky, yeah, and actually this shirt, I've only worn this 2 times. My girl got me this. I think I wore it. It's got mushrooms on it. So shout out to Madison. Madison is like a mushroom fanatic. We have mushroom decor in the house. Literally. Like mushroom stuff, and like she's like into that kind of stuff. So she's kind of hippie. She doesn't do the mushrooms. I don't want anybody, but she likes the mushrooms, the aesthetic. It's weird. Gig-wise, what's up, man? I got no orders for tomorrow, bro. What's going on, man? You got some? Roy says, in my opinion, they need to start selling rubbers on EBT. I think Roy's on EBT. And I think Roy wants to get his rubbers paid by for the government. That's funny. Oh, man, I love it. I love it. Gabriel says there's no chance someone using food stamps would be able to tip a driver. There is a chance, because I got a $3 tip from the lady on, I think this happened on Wednesday. It was either Wednesday or Friday. So there's definitely a chance. I definitely think sometimes situationally people are going to tip or not tip it, regardless of their bank account or whatever. Like there's a lot of different reasons people do or don't tip, right? It is what it is. I have nothing as well on either app, but I'm trying to move all my stuff to storage anyway. Oh yeah. April, appreciate that. Yeah, this isn't a shirt I would normally wear, but I like to listen. This is a little tip for all you guys out there. Okay, when your lady, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, your boyfriend, whatever you're into, okay, when they get you a shirt, okay, even if you don't love it, and I don't mind this, but it's not really my style, you have to wear it at least 3 times. There's a rule of 3 when it comes to clothing. Same for you women. If your guy gets you some, wear it 3 times. You don't need to go out and stepping outside with it, but you gotta wear it at least 3 times, okay? And you gotta make sure they see you wearing it. Okay, I took a shower. I put this shirt on. I went up and kissed my girls goodnight upstairs. And I made sure she saw that I had this on, right? Just got to respect the girlfriend, okay? Make sure she knows that you are wearing it, all right? Pedro's the type of guy to wear fall colors in the springtime. But bro, I wear whatever I want to wear. I could care less. I don't go by those rules, all right? Yeah, so listen, good conversation tonight. We didn't solve the world's problems, but at the end of the day, I like to just talk about things that happened in my week and things that I think other people might. I don't think this is something anybody's ever talked about on the gig space before, right? This isn't a hot topic. It's not something that's really that important. It just isn't. But as we're doing gig work, we're going to run into situations. We're going to run into certain things, right? And sometimes this is a place where we can kind of talk about this stuff as it happens, right? Because if anything else, what we learned tonight is if you're doing DoorDash or Instacart and it's on EBT or Snap, the substitutions can really be a hindrance. It might take you more time. You might not be able to substitute. If you're on Instacart and they tipped, you might get less if they tipped off a percentage, if you can't fulfill the order because the substitutions are approved. On DoorDash, the substitution might not go through all the way. The card, your red card might get declined because the amount was too much. Like there's other things that are involved beyond just the actual items that they're ordering. But when it's through EBT and Snap, you might run into some hiccups and some roadblocks. So that's a thing to think about. So I think that's all I got, unless you guys got something else for me tonight. We're at the almost 2-hour mark. I'll do a little, if you guys got some questions or something you want to bring up, I'll read the chat a little bit. Gig-wise, actually, you know what? Let me see. Gig-wise, I should play that video. I actually saw your video the beginning of this week, the one that you referenced, the $100. That's wild, man. I got to call you. I meant to call you this week. I was like, I wanted to just hear it from you because that's wild, man. What's going on? But I got a lot of respect for you, man. you're gonna figure that out. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. So, what about the side pieces clothes? Mad Dog, that's some side pieces get 1. The real girls get 3. Oh, Jody, great question. Okay, so I put a short out, which got a lot. Ooh, up. Is that Chuck? Oh, I gotta bring Chuck up. Hold on, Jody. Pause. I think Chuck's waiting for me. Chuck, what's
Hey Pedro, what's going on, buddy?
how you doing? You're late. What happened?
I'm doing great. I got a couple of quick things that are totally off topic.
Please bring it. Love it.
All right, since you're not going to do GigCon this year, it appears, we've got our own little GigCon brewing. It's kind of short notice, impromptu, but it started off with a handful of people, but it's looking like we might have 20 or 30 people. We're going to get together.
Tell me more about it.
Okay, we're going to get together. It's going to be a bunch of YouTubers and a bunch of subscribers, people whose names you know. We're going to meet at Stefan's Restaurant in Kingsland, Georgia on Saturday, May 25th, 6 days from now.
Oh,
at noon. And you're going to get a little bit jealous. We're going to have live in person Kevin Mangold.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he's coming. He's in Jacksonville. It's a short drive up. We're going to have 3 stacks. You know 3 stacks? You might see him in the comments a lot of times. 3 stacks just now started doing YouTube shorts, and he's probably going to make some videos. We're going to have the Rookie Dasher. We're going to have Mary B. We're going to have
what day
the Stardashians. There's going to be a lot of us there.
Yeah, what day?
It's 6 days from now. It's May 25th in Kingsland, Georgia.
That's a
Saturday.
I think if you could somehow email me some information,
Yeah.
I could make a road trip.
No way.
No
way.
Georgia, I can drive to Georgia.
It's kind of turning into sort of I'm starting to get worried that the restaurant can't handle how many people might be there.
Give you some from putting together two of myself. If you're expecting 30, you probably won't get, but you have to have 30. You know what I'm saying? So, think about that. If you get 30, you're gonna go. You might 20 or 25 that show up, but that's still right.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a blast.
Hey, I'm gonna put. Let's see.
Hey, but also,
Go ahead.
So you need a Dashing Across America hat out here.
I do. I asked. I would love.
So you got like a PO box I can mail one to, or how do we do this?
Can you see this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can email you.
Just email me. I'll give you my. Send me some information on the event, and we'll talk this week.
And you can email me. It's easy to remember. I'm jarofapplepie@gmail.com. Jar of apple pie is moonshine, by the way. Jar of apple pie. Apple pie moonshine.
I like me.
But it's in the description of my channel. But yeah, I'll shoot you an email in just a minute and let you know.
Do that. Talk this week. I think definitely I could make a road trip. I think that would be fun.
I mean, it's coming right up. It's 6 days from now.
Oh, I know.
Oh, this is crazy. All right, Pedro, take care.
Yeah, you too, bro. Appreciate it.
That's all I had.
Thank you. Chuck coming in doing a meetup. Listen, Georgia on the 20th. Listen, y'all know I don't work the weekends, and I like to do stuff just off the whim. So I'm gonna run that by Madison. Georgia. Let's see. I've driven to Florida. Georgia from here. I think he said Georgia. I mean, it's not that bad. I've been to Atlanta, and I think that's the halfway point from. I can get to Atlanta, I think, in like 8 hours. So, I mean, that's just one. I don't need to stop. Listen, I'm gonna have to think about that. I'll wait for his email and see. But that would be pretty dope just to meet some cool people. Because yeah, the GigCon, man. We've done 2 in a row. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't have anything planned, but I was thinking about putting together something local in St. Louis, just for St. Louis drivers or some people that might be close, and just do a low-key kind of thing like we did. The first year wasn't low-key, but for those of you that don't know, we've done 2 GigCons in person, St. Louis and Denver last August. and they were both great for different reasons. The first one was, I mean, it was outside, it was a picnic, but we had a DJ and crazy food and games. It was amazing. But I'm trying to figure out how to do something just local again, with maybe 50 people, who knows? But that Jordan thing is very interesting to me, and that's actually, it's awesome to see other people doing stuff like that, because I referenced that last year after GigCon in Colorado, and some things went great, some things didn't go good. I learned a lot in putting together these events. But I remember saying, like, man, I wish somebody else would do something similar in their locality where they're at, right? And it looks like Chuck's doing it. He's got a restaurant place. He's inviting some other gig tubers and drivers, and it's awesome. Connection is what makes this community great. A lot of us are in our cars alone, or maybe you're doing it with your wife or your girlfriend or your husband, but like, it can be lonely sometimes. You're by yourself. We don't have like coworkers like a W-2. We are coworkers through the YouTube or through the people that you meet in your community. But it's really awesome when I see other people doing events, and bringing people together and just breaking bread, as I say, and having a drink or having dinner and just talking shop or talking this and just helping one another out and talking about things outside of the gig community, outside of food delivery, which happens at these events. You learn, you get to learn somebody, and you get to learn. Maybe you meet their family, you talk about this, you talk about what they're working towards. I mean, it's amazing. So 25th, the only thing I had next week, I'll be at my father's on the 26th for a barbecue with my family. So I would have to be back for that, but I can make that happen. Listen, Madison loves to do road trips, and I'll just take them with me, make a day of it. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'll wait to hear from Chuck, but I love that, man. All right, let's see who else is in here. This is the water cooler. Absolutely, Ryan. Gigwash says, I'm always on my Discord channel when I'm out doing my deliveries. That's why I used to live stream so much from the road. Yeah, absolutely. Cray says, it's sad most senior citizens get little in the way of food assistance. Yeah. Let's see. Mad Dog says, I'm going. I'm gonna talk to Chuck's gonna email me. I'm gonna see what's going on. Rollercade in South County. Yeah, right. What's up, Hector? I see Hector Hustles. What's up, Thomas? I'm gonna say some highs to you guys. Eric, Ricky Moss, Vaughn. Always a pleasure to see you here, brother. Cray. Let's see who else we got. 2020s in here. 2020s always has some interesting things to say. Johnny. I see Gig Gal still in the house. Is that the right Gig Gal or is that the wrong Gig Gal? I know another Gig Gal got signed out. Tammy K, appreciate you. Nathan. Sigma, what's up, brother? Michael. Let's see, who else? Sounds like fun. Absolutely, man. Lachelle, always a pleasure to see you in here. Appreciate all you guys commenting and sharing your perspective, challenging us originally. Sandy, what's up? Boosted. Just saying hi to everybody that I haven't said hi to yet. April, always a pleasure to see you. Shelly, what's up, Shelly? How you doing? Ninjando, what's up? Jody asked a question about the guy. I made a short. Before Chuck came up, I was going to talk about it. I made a short today. I was looking outside my window, and I went to open the door to pick up some stuff that was in the front. And there was this guy. Actually, let's watch the short first. I'll pull it up for you guys. Okay? A lot of people have watched it. I think we're at like 12,000 views in that short. It's weird how YouTube works. Very strange. I'm going to pull this short up for you guys. I want you to watch it. It's real short. And I'll talk to you about what happened. Okay, give me a second here. Give me a second. Let me find it. Let me go to my YouTube page. Click on that guy right there. And then shorts. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet. Appreciate y'all. Okay, there it is. Yeah, it's crazy. The views on it. It's weird. YouTube is weird. Okay, so let me go back in here. I'll show you guys this short real quick. Share screen. Ding. Okay, there's my YouTube page. That should pop up. Okay, let me click on this short for you guys real quick. I think it should pop up. You go to walk out your house, your front door, and you see a guy sleeping on a sidewalk. What do? Ask him if you need some help. Ask him if he's hungry. Mind your own business and say nothing. What do you guys do if this is right outside of your front door? You go to walk out your house, your front door, and you see a guy sleeping on a sidewalk. What do? Ask him if he needs some help. Ask him if he's hungry. Mind your own business and say nothing. What do you guys do if this is right outside of your front door? You go to walk out your house, your front door, and you see a guy sleeping on a sidewalk. What do? Ask him if he needs some help. Ask him if he's hungry. Mind your own business and say nothing. What do you guys do if this is? All right, so Jody asked me what I did. So I walk outside and I see this guy right in between me and my neighbor on this public sidewalk sleeping. He had like a bag. He's sleeping. He's using it as a pillow. His shoes were off his feet. His shoes were right next to his body, and he had his drink right there on the sidewalk. Sleeping. Just sleeping. Okay? And I was like, man, okay. Didn't pose a threat. Wasn't threat. The man's sleeping outside. Okay? A lot of comments in that video. A lot of comments. Mostly saying, leave him alone, help him. Would you help him? Blah, blah, blah. You know, this is what I did. Some people even said I should call the police. First, I'm not calling the police on a guy sleeping on the street. Now, if he's acting erratic, if he's being crazy, if he's bothering me he wasn't doing any of that. Just a dude sleeping on the earth. I ain't trying to make his day worse than it is. And I don't even know if it's bad. I have no idea. So he was there for maybe 30 minutes. I was watching something. I was like, look, he's still there, sleeping. I didn't want to wake the guy up. I don't know what this guy's on. I don't know him. I'm not going to go out there and wake him up. Nah. So I didn't do that. I looked out again. Guy was gone. Guy might have been walking all day long. Who knows? And he's like, I just need to sleep right now. And the dude just went to sleep. Now, if he was on my front porch, on my steps, that's a little bit different. He wasn't. He was on the public sidewalk in front of my house. I'm not gonna bother that dude. Now, if he woke up and I saw him, I didn't see him wake up and stuff, I would have asked him, hey man, you thirsty? It's hot. It was hot today. You need some water? Do you want a juice, a soda? Like, I would have offered him that. Well, I would have made the dude a sandwich. If he's like, man, I would love a water, I would have asked him probably, hey, have you eaten today? Like, I would do that. But the comments in that sure, you should check out the show if you haven't watched it. They're pretty wild, but obviously mostly very positive. Like, you should help him. I wasn't gonna wake the dude up. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna get in his personal space. And plus, I don't know if the dude, he could be on something, and I'm not trying to have that interaction. But I let him be. I let him sleep in the world on the public sidewalk. Like I said, if he's up on my patio, like on my chairs, that's a different story. But he wasn't. So interesting. I don't know what you guys would do and that's not normal for this area. We have a lot of walking. We have foot traffic and people that walk and stuff, but I've never seen that before. We've been in this house over 2 years. I've never seen somebody sleeping on the sidewalk. Now, we had that in St. Louis and other parts, but I've never seen it right in front of my house. It was odd. It was like, what is going on here? What would you guys do? I'm going to leave it up. You guys tell me in the chat. I'll read some comments. What would you guys do? You open up your front door, and there's a guy sleeping with his shoes off right in front of your house. What do? I'd cuddle with him. Okay. Let's see what else. Try to figure out if they're okay. Okay. Or he's got a bad back. Okay, maybe. Sidewalk is technically a public easement. Yeah, that's why I didn't do it. That's why I didn't bother the man. I wasn't calling the cops. I had there's a lot of comments. There was probably 20 or 30 of them saying, call the police, call 911. If I thought the guy was dead, I would call 911 or try to help him, but he wasn't. He was just sleeping. Mind my business, yeah. And listen, the reason I videotape certain things, if I see something kind of interesting and unique, I'm going to make a short about it and start a conversation on YouTube. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't film people I don't normally just go around filming everybody, right? But I felt like this was a unique situation. And I wanted to get other people's perspective. Do you see the city finally got rid of that hut at Spring and Gustine? No, but I saw it just a couple of weeks ago. But that's been there for a long time. Where do those people go? Bring food and drinks best you can do. I thought about just setting something out there, but I didn't. Because he didn't seem like he was sleeping. He didn't seem like he was injured or like, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to like make a big deal. Call 911 for well care check. Yeah, I mean, he was just sleeping. I don't know. It was just the place he was sleeping was odd. Because if this is a park and the guy's just on the grass, he's taking a nap, not a big deal, right? We look at that very differently, right? But it's because he was on the street, on the cement, that made it very different for me. I heard that. People tell me turn sprinklers. First, I don't have a sprinkler system, so I couldn't do that. I'm not going to get the hose out and hose the guy down. That would make me a really bad person, right? If you're the kind of person that would hose another human being down just for sleeping on a sidewalk, you're not the kind of person I want to be around. I'll say that. He wanted to mow the lawn, but I got somebody to mow my grass already. I used to do it, but now my neighbor has a guy, and he does it now when he does hers, and it's convenient. He does a good job. I don't have to worry about it. He doesn't charge that much. Well, I was waiting for like a kid to knock on my door. I used to do that when I was a kid. I would knock on people's doors. I had like several customers where we lived. Yeah, but those kids don't do that anymore. For real, man, that's messed up. The city tried to help the couple. They don't speak English. They offered them a free place of their own to stay indefinitely, and they refused any help at all. Damn, that's crazy, man. That's sad, man. I mean, that's sad. Homelessness to me, actually, regardless, in most cases, you know, there's going to be some bad people, I guess, that are homeless. But most times you're addicted to something, you're down and out. A lot of you know, you might be a vet that has some mental health things going on because of your time. Like, homelessness is something we got to fix here. It's bad. I'm sitting here very comfortable. I don't have to worry about the things they got to worry about. I'm very empathetic to people that are homeless. I always have been. Oh, Vaughn, I got to get that money, bro. Listen, it's like a TV show. There's commercials in a TV show. It's going to be some commercials every once in a while on our live, brother. Sorry. I think that's all we got. Jody, thank you for asking about that. I could share with you guys in the happenings of what happened. He was just gone. What was interesting was, this is what's interesting about that. Because I took Ruby on a walk like a couple hours later after he left. He left his cup there, and he left some ladies, this was a guy, some ladies' shoes. Like I don't know what you call them, like not dress shoes, because they didn't, like a dressy kind of shoe without a heel. Not a tennis shoe, not a boot, like a slide-on dressy shoe. He left a pair of those there, stacked on each other, and his like Quick Trip cup, styrofoam cup. He left that there. It was an odd situation, right? Just odd. That's all I got. Listen, appreciate the super chats we got tonight. Appreciate the thumbs up. Appreciate all the panelists. Appreciate the comments. I think somebody just a little while ago, I think it was Lachelle. Yeah, it was a good conversation. We could talk and disagree or agree or have a different opinion without yelling at it. We can do that here. We don't always do that here. Sometimes you got to yell. It's okay. But it's good to have a perspective and bring people up and let their voice be heard and agree or disagree or whatever. And we could always talk about that. But if you use it, it will be told you can't have it. Oh, Gig out that. Is you asking me what my final thoughts are? What are your final thoughts on the situation, Pedro? The first trailer video has been my best long form video today for you. Oh, I noticed that. Giga, if you're talking to me, I think I definitely kind of assumed a little bit on the Walgreens, and I was a little ignorant that I didn't know what people could and could not order. Because you got to remember, I have family that had been on that. We were on when I was a kid. We stood in line for government cheese, and things are different now. There's no lines like that anymore. You just get a card, but I wasn't aware that you can get like snacks and junk food, you know? So it's interesting. So I definitely learned some stuff. And I think people should be able to order what they want. But at the end of the day, if you're doing that, you should still obviously tip. Those customers, to me, customers are customers. And I believe that everybody should tip your driver. Every single person should tip. As long as you're not ignorant and you have the knowledge that drivers are out here doing something for you. We don't make a lot of money. You gotta leave a tip, regardless of what the money is coming from, whatever. But I would do those orders all day long as the money's right. That's what I kind of remember. That's what I'm saying. It's changed, right? A lot. But so online and computers and all that's made it that way. I mean, I remember holding my mom's hand, waiting in those lines. Those lines. We were living in New Jersey at that time. I lived in New Jersey for 1 year of my life. I believe I was in kindergarten. I was 5 or 6 years old, and this was in New Jersey. And waiting in line, hundreds of people, and a block of cheese was like that, and it would give a few other items, like rice and some canned goods and things like that. But I remember as a little boy waiting in line with my mom for that. No, it's just one of those memories. I just remember doing that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. And that government cheese hit. That shit's good, man. I'll take a block of that shit right now, man. And paper food stamps. Yeah, people listen, man. Where I'm from, them paper food stamps are like gold. People would sell them, right? They'd have a $20. Give me $10 cash to give my 20 in food stamps. Like, yeah, man, it's a hustle, man, for real. So, anyways, y'all have been fantastic. We're over the 2-hour mark. That's a good way to end the channel or to end the live. I don't have any caterings booked for tomorrow. I'm sure there's going to get something in the morning will probably pop up. Hopefully I can get one. If I don't get one, I don't get one. This week's going to be interesting because I have a few things going on. So the ride-alongs probably won't be there, but obviously there's going to be a lot of topics. I got a few video ideas already, things I want to cover, things I want to talk about. One being the Minnesota. For all the rideshare people, Uber and Lyft were going to pull out of Minnesota for rideshare because of the legislation. Well, I think they actually made an agreement now with the, might have been the mayor or the political person that spearheaded this, the group. I think they made a deal, and the Uber, Lyft, rideshare drivers in Minnesota are really getting the pay grade, or like they're getting a up in pay per mile and then per minute. There's a minimum. Guaranteed, and they're going to be making a little bit more money. So that's positive for them short term. We'll see what the long term effects are. Who knows? So I definitely want to give an opinion and read a little bit more about that. That's all I got. It's been an interesting week, y'all. It's been an interesting week, but I'm feeling really good. I'm excited about the summertime. I can't wait to read emails, Chuck's email, and look at the logistics and see how far it could be and see if Madison wants to take that drive. We'll see. I like to. Appreciate that, Chuck. We like to travel. We like to go places. And we don't have anywhere to go right now on the books until 4th of July. We go to northern Michigan, Bel Air, Michigan every year. So we'll be doing that actually the week after 4th of July this year. So we don't have anything until then. So this will be a nice little trip, baby. We'll see. So y'all have a great night. Be kind to somebody if you're in a room or around or in a car, or wherever you're at with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your mom, your dad, your kids. Give them a hug. Tell them you love them. And have a good rest of the night. I'll see you guys next week.